friends, welcome back to Three Barrow Farm. For those who are new here, my name is Amy and we are currently in week 5 of the Pantry and Freezer Challenge, where we're trying to work through our pantry and freezer to prepare for the upcoming harvest season, which is pretty much already started. We're starting to pull a lot of vegetables and fruit from the garden, and I need room to store them. So we have been trying to work through the freezer, in particular, the deep freezer. Now we are actually in a heat wave at the moment, and during the hot weather, we don't really feel like eating very much. So one meal has really been stretching quite far because I find it difficult to cook small meals. I wanted to have a lot of kids, and it obviously shows through my cooking, but every meal we always have leftovers, which we usually eat for lunch the next day. Well, the leftovers are actually doing us another meal as well as some lunches for us too. So I'm not getting through everything as much as I wanted to, because we're obviously having smaller meals because we're just not feeling like eating that much. There are a few things that I want to continue working through, particularly in the freezer, and over time we will get through these items, and I'm just going to try and focus my meals mainly on those ingredients. So this week we've had a few different meals so far. My family have gotten a bit tired of not having bread in the pantry, so we have purchased some bread. My husband went out and purchased some so that they could have bread because they can't live without their bread. And it is just starting to cool down tonight, so I'm actually doing a couple of my gluten-free loaves of bread so that we actually have some on hand. And hopefully tomorrow morning I will do another 2 loaves and we can have some in the freezer ready to pull out when we need it. So I am just waiting for the chia seeds to finish soaking in the yeast mixture I have over here, the wet mixture, and then I will be placing them into these dry mixes that I have pre-prepared. I have my other 2 dry mixes here waiting, so these are 2 more loaves that I will do tomorrow morning hopefully. And things are starting to get busier now. We're starting to preserve some of the fruit. I've done some plums and some peaches and some apples so far in jars. And I used these seals for the second time. Sometimes they work perfectly, but I did have a few jars that didn't succeed this time. So at the moment they're sitting in the fridge, and I've got to make the decision as to whether they sit in the fridge until we eat them or I try to redo the water bathing. Let me know if you have redone the water bathing before. Yeah, so I was going to put some new seals on them and try them again, but I haven't done this before and I don't want it to spoil what's in there. So let me know if you've tried that and if you have any tips in that direction. I just need to butter my tins. I went to the shops today and did I get some vegetables? I only got 3 red capsicums. We are probably not going to get any capsicums this year, and I am starting to feel like we definitely need that polytunnel to actually grow capsicums. It's just too cold here when the season is delayed. So last year, spring was majorly delayed for us. It was just so cold for so long here in central Victoria. And I do have the plan to have a polytunnel eventually, but yeah, can't live without the capsicum. So I purchased some. Luckily, the organic capsicum prices are pretty good at the moment. So I purchased some organic capsicums, and I've also purchased some organic cucumbers so I can pickle some cucumbers because my kids are missing having the pickles. And again, the cucumbers are really slow this year. There are some really tiny ones out there, but I'm yet to see if they have been pollinated well enough. I know there are ants all over the plants, so perhaps they've been pollinated just fine. But in the meantime, I have purchased some locally grown ones and I'm excited to get those into some jars. I'm just going to do refrigerator pickles. So this evening I'm actually home alone. So I'm going to put together just a lovely little salad perhaps, or something with zucchini, and I got some feta cheese because I've been missing feta cheese. It's been a long time since I've had feta cheese. So I got some cheese and I'm going to do something with zucchinis because we have got zucchinis coming in, a lot of them now. Because of the heat of the day, I can tell that this bread is going to rise really quickly. So if you're new here and you are wondering about this bread that I'm making, I do have a video and I will link it below and above in one of these corners. And you can go and have a look and make some yourself. I have heard lots of great feedback from some of you, and I'm so pleased that the bread is turning out really well for you. It has come from a recipe from one of my clients, and I've just adapted it to make a larger family loaf. And it works really well. The recipe is in the description of the video, and I have adjusted the tapioca amounts because I think I said the wrong amount in the video. So just make sure you note that when you're making it, but I have actually made it with that lower amount of tapioca and it's worked out well as well. So if you only have a small amount of the tapioca flour, go for it. It will still work out just fine. So one great thing about not having to cook so much is that there's been less dishes as well, and there's been more time to focus on other things, which has been great. We have a long list of things that we'd like to get done, but of course the heat is really slowing us down. But there is light at the end of the tunnel. We have got a really nice couple of days coming up, Sunday and Monday. So I'm really pleased with that fact. And I'm going to be doing some cooking and some baking and things with the oven because I haven't had the oven on. Speaking of the oven, I need to turn it on now because I've got one loaf of bread in its tin. So while I was at the shops, I spied a whole 3-kilo tray of strawberries. The last lot that I got was $15 for 3 kilos, and this was $12 for 3 kilos of strawberries. I'm going to wash these and then I'm going to freeze them for sorbets and for smoothies. I also got another tray of mangoes. It is getting harder to find mangoes. I have a feeling the season is coming to a close, and I'm really enjoying my mango in the mornings. So I'm still buying mangoes and slowly getting through the box. I think one box is lasting us 1 to 1.5 weeks. So that's pretty good, although the price is getting a bit more expensive. So I think this might be one of the last boxes that we buy. I also got some green bananas, but I also got some cake bananas. So these were at a great price of $2 a kilo for organic bananas, and I'm going to freeze these bananas. I made a sorbet the other night on our really hot day we had recently, and while I'm not a big fan of frozen things, it just doesn't do well for our digestive systems. That day was really hot and we gave in. So we haven't had a sorbet yet this summer, which is amazing that we haven't given in to having something that cold. my kids and my husband have ice all the time, but I can't deal with it as well as they can, I think. So I prefer to stay with room temperature to hot. But I have been missing bananas in my smoothies because we haven't had any bananas for a while. So I got some more of these bananas so that I can put them in smoothies as well. And I will be cutting them up into little bits and putting them in containers and then into the freezer. I also got some organic grapes, and they are at a pretty reasonable price at the moment. I prefer to get the organic ones. Probably the variety is different as well. Like you can get really nice sultana grapes. They're usually smaller, so they're jam-packed with flavor rather than the sort of larger grapes or the conventional grapes where they are just fed a whole lot of water to try and get them bigger so that they weigh more, obviously, and cost more. And I got some stone fruit as well because summer. So they are our purchases this week so far, and I'm hoping to keep the purchases down because now we have some vegetables coming in from the garden. I'm going to be harvesting more potatoes, carrots, and of course the zucchinis are just going to keep going on from now on. I haven't checked on my tomato situation, but I doubt there are any ripe ones out there. And I haven't checked on the basil since I did a harvest on Monday. Today's Thursday, so we've done well to get through without a shop until now, although Thursday or Friday is generally my shopping day. I have got the last piece of second last piece of one of our lambs from our farm that we had butchered in the fridge, defrosting. So I will be doing a slow cooked lamb on Saturday. I've just taken it out and I've got a shank left over, so I will probably wait to use the shank till later this month, or February rather. I'm jumping ahead thinking it's February already. I will be going away camping with my kids for 1 week of February, and I'm going to need some meals to take because I like to freeze the meals and then, you just have to put them in the fridge and they slowly defrost and they're ready to cook or heat up rather. So I'm going to be preparing a few meals, and this means that I will be working through some of the produce that I have. I've got, of course, the spring onions to work through. I have the celery that I have in the freezer, so both of those are in the freezer. I've got carrots in the garden that will need to be either blanched and frozen, which will take up more space in the freezer, but this is why I'm trying to empty out the old stock to make room for the new. And I will also be using the carrots to cook these meals as well. I have pin marked a few recipes, so I'm going to try and do these cook-ups on our cooler days we have coming up, but if I have to do them in the heat, then that's fine. I'll probably do them in my Thermomix, and that doesn't add too much heat to the house anyway. The bread's almost getting there, but I've just remembered that I forgot to put sesame seeds on top, so I'm just going to do that right now. I will, of course, be taking some of this bread with me away as well, so I will have to do some more loaves to take away. I don't know if this is going to stick now that it's risen already. I'll just give it a little bit of a tap down to make sure that it does stick. I'm also thinking I will make a nut and seed loaf with this bread mixture. Some of you made some of this bread with seeds in it, and I thought I could make a nut and seed loaf, and then that would be really great as a breakfast loaf while we're away. I have been cooking mainly vegetarian meals this week, or even vegan, you could say. Because we haven't got much dairy in the house either. I made a vegetable chili, which did us 2 meals and did 2 lunches for me as well while I've been at work. So that was fantastic. And I got to use a zucchini in it as well, which was great. I did put one of my whole chilies that I dried last year. And I'm kind of glad that I haven't got any chili plants that are growing fruit just yet, because I've still got heaps of dried chili in my pantry and they are quite hot chilies. So this meal was really, really spicy for us, but we kind of like it that way. It was actually on one of the hottest days this week and we ended up sweating it out. But it was really delicious and I'll definitely be making this dish again. I have made it in the past, but of course forgot about it. I just spotted the first cockatoo on my sunflowers. It's only a matter of time before they find them and start gorging on the seeds that are developing in the flower heads. All right, this bread's ready to go in. All right, so I have quite a bit of work to do tonight. I've got to do the strawberries, I've got to do the bananas, although some of these will survive till the morning. And I've got to soak and wash all the rest of the fruit that I purchased. I like to wash it and then put it in the bowl so that it's ready to eat. And then my kids don't have to wash it before they eat it. They can just grab and eat. So I'm gonna head off and get these things done and make my dinner eventually. I'm probably just going to saute some zucchinis, maybe have some seeds with it. I have got some lettuces in the garden, so I could harvest some lettuce leaves and have a bit of lettuce with the zucchini, maybe some kale. I might fry up some kale as well with the zucchini. And then, yeah, have the feta cheese on top with some olive oil. Yum. I'm getting hungry now.